All around the world, people are capturing the unexplainable on their mobile phones and CCTV. Kaboom! From the UK to the USA.
Just catch just a little glimpse of him and then he'd be gone.
More unexplainable phenomena is being captured than ever before.
Oh my God.
The chair flew across the floor.
Oh my God. Ben, look at that.
In this series, we will hear firsthand from the people involved.
This black shadow with wings swooped towards me.
As we reveal the most terrifying,
It fed off my anxiety. I just couldn't fight it.
Aliens.
remarkable,
Something's definitely crashed you. This is weird.
and unexplainable footage shot by you.
I do believe that he may have been possessed.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh my
But first, meet our experts, who'll be giving their opinions on the unexplained.
I do believe that there is more to reality than this material world we see around us. I just don't think science and reason has all of the answers. So I think there are absolutely some things in this world that are unexplainable.
There is a viable explanation for everything. I get involved in scientific investigation of paranormal claims, but also I do go out ghost busting at the weekends. I'm a skeptic in the true sense of the word. If I can see quite blatantly it's not real, then I will definitely call it out.
I believe that ghosts exist because I've experienced them myself. Some things are definitely unexplainable. Science has a long way to go to proving the existence of the afterlife.
My mum was a medium and I've grown up with ghosts. Life goes on beyond death. I think there are life forms on other planets. Do I think there's always an answer to the unexplained? No.
This is Unexplained. Caught on camera. Coming up,
Is this where you ended your life?
an investigation into a haunted pub goes beyond a joke.
It's not a joke, ha ha ha, is it? It's a ha ha ha. It's like a horror movie laugh, isn't it?
A cursed cupboard is captured on camera.
No one in the room, and the cupboard door just swings open. Got goosebumps.
Something tries to share the limelight with a young dancer.
It touched my face, my arm, and then like my leg.
There is only one explanation. Spirits.
And one man's walk in the woods
Something's definitely crashed you. Look at this.
takes an extraordinary turn.
Massive gap in the woods. Aliens. Could have stumbled into the ET crashing. Who knows?
But first, in Grantham in the UK, a pub with a dark past.
I want to die.
And an investigation that's no laughing matter. Meet paranormal investigator Rachel Parsons.
I first got into the paranormal world around about 15 years ago when I was working in a manor house, and it was my first experience of seeing a full apparition, and I was just absolutely amazed. I thought, I've got to find out for myself. There is something out there that is on a different dimension, but I think getting the evidence and gathering the evidence of the paranormal is the most amazing thing.
Wanting to get solid evidence of the afterlife was what prompted Rachel to set up her own crack team of investigators, the Retford Ghost Hunters. There's 10 in the spook-seeking squad, including trusty sidekick Peter.
I've always had feelings of paranormal activity. Always felt things, but never seen one, and joined Rachel's group to see if I could see one and satisfy my curiosities.
Right, let's go for it.
She's got to get a lippy on. Yeah, you're first, Pete.
And for Pete, there's never a dull moment being part of Rachel's team.
I like to bring humour into my ghost hunting because that's me, that's who I am.
Look at these here.
I love being positive, I love being happy, and I love radiating that out as well. And I think it's important when you're running a team. We joke all the time.
I can't believe it. We're in the middle of a field in an old monastery, all laughing his head off.
But you know, laughter and happiness creates energy.
Do you like jokes? Do you know what this is? Super speed ghost hunting. Isn't it?
Spirits and entities and things, they work from energy, and they pick up a lot of energy from our joviality and things like that.
Put your midnight rule. If you're the headmaster, can you come and tell us off? Are you calling me a wench?
And this fun bunch love nothing more than investigating a haunted pub.
We love pubs. Pubs are our favourite because you've got ready-made history there. And there's some quirky things that happen in pubs.
There were so many pubs, especially in England, that are haunted. And why? Because they've been around for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Spirits can linger in these buildings because they can mean so much to them. If people have lived in a pub for a very long time, seen their lives playing out, births, deaths, lots of heightened emotion, they may find that they're more than happy to stay there in death.
I think spirits hang around pubs because it's their second home. Isn't it, you know, so it's... And also, if you worked in a pub, you... Sorry, I've just thought I've seen something over there then. Seriously. Yeah.
Rachel's talent for spotting spooks led her to investigate one pub in particular, the Black Dog in Grantham, run by landlord Chris.
I've been the landlord for 8 years now. I think there's been a pub here since the 1500s in some sort. It's a Grade 2 listed building. Obviously, it's very old. It's a great pub. It's like a village pub, really, in the town centre. Friendly place, friendly atmosphere in here. You know, it's somewhere warm and inviting.
Too inviting, perhaps, as the spirits in this pub aren't just behind the bar.
When I did some research and just rang Chris and said, you know, we're doing investigations, is it possible to come to your pub? Chris kept me on the phone for ages, telling me all these personal stories of experiences that he'd had here himself. Well, that were it. I was hooked. Thought, I've got to get in there.
We've had it where I've been in bed, her chair's been dragged across this wooden floor that we're sitting on now. And we've had shadows walking back and forth, glasses and bottles moving and being thrown on the floor behind the bar.
But it's not just rowdy paranormal punters in the pub. There's also something alarming in the attic.
When we first moved into the pub, we noticed there was a third floor that we hadn't actually seen when we first came here. On having a look at it, it was very old, very derelict. Every single night we would hear footsteps up there, doors opening and shutting. Also dragging noises as well, like somebody was being dragged across the attic. One of the worst things we used to have is a real rotten meat smell. It smelled like rotten flesh, and then as quickly as it came, it would be gone again. I'd go up and have a look. There was nothing there. I've never been one to be scared by ghosts or anything like that, or even really believe in them, you know, till we moved here. But there's a number of things that have happened here that you just can't explain away.
But luckily for Chris...
Hey up. Hello. Hiya.
Rachel and her A-team were all over it.
I was feeling optimistic about what we was going to capture.
Oh, don't like it, you pig.
Instantly felt, I always call it a porridge feeling. It's almost like you're walking through porridge, and the minute I walked into that room, I just knew. I knew that something was there.
Later, things take a deadly serious turn. And it's no joke when their team spirit is tested.
Who is it in here?
In Cornwall, UK.
It's weird.
The curious case of a cursed cupboard.
It was continually open. I knew we'd closed it. It's starting to freak me out a bit.
And one man's mission to capture the culprit.
I totally believe what was going on was paranormal because I looked at every possibility and I couldn't find an answer. My name is Matt Windsor and I'm 35 from Bude in Cornwall. Cornwall is steeped in history, lots of ruined buildings and there's history around every corner.
Cornwall has been named the most haunted county in the UK, with hundreds of sightings of ghosts and ghouls. But Matt remained a paranormal skeptic until a strange encounter 3 years ago changed his mind.
Tintagel is a local village just down the road. It's about 20 minutes from here. The woodlands there is where I had my first paranormal encounter. I was just walking there. It was off season in Cornwall, middle of February, quite a cold, wet day. And I had a hand grab my shoulder and I couldn't explain it. I wasn't really looking for paranormal, I was a skeptic, but the hand on my shoulder and the whisper I heard in my ear just couldn't be explained. And that sort of pushed some of the skepticism out of me.
Matt's quest for answers into the afterlife began, and it wasn't long before they surfaced. But this time, they were closer to home.
I've lived in my current house here in Bude for the last 6 years, and it's a typical house, ex-council house. Yeah, lots of creaky floorboards, but it's a nice big house with lots of character. After my first encounter, I feel like something followed me home. It was weird. We started hearing footsteps in the hallway and on the stairs, and also the cupboard door in the bedroom was continually open, even though we knew we'd closed it.
I'll get dressed in the morning, shut the door, go away, but I'll come back up at some point during the day and it's wide open, and it's weird.
At first, both me and my partner assumed it was the kids looking for Christmas presents because it was, you know, that sort of time of year. And we just assumed the kids were going into the bedroom, unlocking the door and opening the cupboard and leaving it open.
But when his kids denied peeking into the cupboard, Matt looked for another explanation.
We looked into all sorts of different aspects. As I say, this is me coming from a completely sceptical view. I thought about maybe the door frame swelling and closing.
And this is the cupboard itself. It's solid concrete all round. There's no breezes in there.
And the handle couldn't just be pulled to open the door.
Later,
that's completely in place now.
In a desperate bid to solve the cupboard conundrum, Matt takes matters into his own hands.
I set the cameras up because it was driving me mad.
But the cupboard wasn't all he caught.
You actually see the TV coming on. I was very freaked out.
It seems some poltergeists like to cause a stir when no one's home. In Oregon, USA, unusual activity seems to ramp up when the owners are out. First, the poltergeist pulls up a pew before going into the cupboard for a late-night snack. Clearly, there's nothing in the cupboard that takes its fancy. Virtually every day, the homeowners check back on their home security camera, only to find their house comes alive when no one's about. In North Carolina, USA, one man is also spooked when he comes home to find things mysteriously out of place. As things fly off the counter, it's clear someone or something likes to make a mess. After reviewing the footage, the owner believes his flat is haunted. Scared out of his senses, he's now considering moving house. In Scotland, UK, a twinkle-toed 10-year-old
Something just flew past my face.
twirls straight into the twilight zone.
It touched my face, my arm, and then my leg. And then there was like a shadow behind my bed. So I was really scared.
There is only one explanation: spirits.
Nicola Pattison's daughter Kayla is passionate about performing.
Kayla has always had lots of energy. She's singing and dancing from the moment she gets up in the morning till she goes to bed. They're such a musical family. My mum, she sang in a band. My husband, he actually sings. My son sings, so we've got music playing constantly. Kayla started dancing probably actually when she was about 2. And I just thought, I'm going to video to watch her dancing because she was so cute.
But Kayla's dancing isn't the only thing that Nicola captured on camera.
I didn't see it at the time. It wasn't till I had watched the video back on my phone. It was a white circular light. We weren't sure at first what it actually was until we kind of done a wee bit of research into it. It says that it was orbs.
I was quite scared, but like I knew it was something, but I didn't know what it was.
The first time it happened, I thought it was a one-off. I never thought that it was going to happen again.
But it does. A few years later, there's an encore.
It happened again when Kayla was 6, and she was again in the living room. As she was doing all the hand movements and moving about the living room, there was 2 orbs past her face. It was later on when I watched the video back and I couldn't believe that there were actually 2. So I actually posted it in social media to see what other people's opinion was of it, and the response was pretty big. Yeah, it's definitely an orb, it's definitely a spirit that's here. I can't believe, like, there's definitely somebody looking over your wee girl. It's amazing, it's so clear, the image is so clear of these 2 orbs. I didn't think that I would see anything like that again, and I was actually shocked when a few years later it happened again, and I thought, oh well, there's definitely somebody taking care of Kayla. But when it's happened the 3rd time, I couldn't believe it was actually happening again. Kayla was in her bedroom when she experienced the same white orb light coming past her shoulder, past her face. But this time, as she was 10, she was aware of something that didn't look right, and she actually got a fright.
I knew something like happened because before it came past me, I felt something really weird behind me, and then something just flew past my face. It like touched my face, my arm, and then like my leg. When it went away, there was like a shadow behind my bed, so I was really quite scared. I ran down to my big brother and like said, like, I don't know what this is, Mark. And then my brother said that they were talking about ghosts and stuff, like before that happened. And then we ran into my mum's room because we were really scared.
When I saw it, I had goosebumps because it was so clear.
Sometimes we just happen to capture something, a glimmer, almost a glitch in the matrix, if you like. And I think that's what we're seeing often when we see things like orbs and these visual light anomalies.
In my professional opinion, orbs can be debunked because of the development of digital cameras. If you go back to the original film cameras, you won't see orbs on those cameras because it is down to that imaging chip within the camera. So it is a digital camera phenomena.
I think this spirit has a fun, vibrant energy. I think that this person was really sociable, was just in love with life, basically, and I feel that they love the energy that she gives off.
I think it was definitely a very special man that we lost in our family. Kayla has taken it quite bad and been very upset, and I think it's his way of giving Kayla a wee sign that he is okay and that he's still with her.
It's just like quite cool how like they always come to me. I'm not really frightened that much because I mean, if it's a person in my family then I'm fine. I feel quite special because like, not many people have orbs. I like the spirits like around me when I'm dancing because I mean, it actually kind of comforts me.
Whoever the orb is somebody who clearly loves to sing and dance and is a happy spirit.
Back in Grantham,
Oh, don't like it.
Rachel and her fellow ghost hunter Pete were in pursuit of paranormal activity in the Black Dog pub.
The minute I walked in, I knew we were going to get something, but I didn't know what.
The pubs played host to all manner of haunted happenings, but it's the noises in the attic that landlord Chris has always feared the most.
When we first moved in, we'd noticed that some work had started to be done in it, but it had stopped for some reason. We were told that people had refused to work up there.
The joiner, he down tools. He was having things thrown at him, seeing things and everything, so he went.
I looked into it myself to try and see what it could possibly be to help me to try and process what was going on. And that was when I found that a guy had hung himself up there.
The minute I walked into that room, I just knew. I knew that something was there. It felt very, very dark. And I don't mean the light.
First on Rachel's agenda was getting her team focused on the job in hand.
Okay, we're all united. If we all imagine your feet and your energies going down through the Earth's crust, down to the core of the Earth, and get that ball of light, that heat, that energy from the ball, the Earth's crust. I can't speak. From the core, what's up with me?
It wasn't the smoothest of starts.
Right, you're welcome to speak.
But Rachel wasted no time in trying to communicate.
We brought an EVP recorder, which records any voice.
Half the time you can't understand it, can you? But then you get a right word out.
And it will pick up the slightest noise.
That's going mad.
What, the EMF?
Yeah.
EMF meters to see, you know, the electric field.
Going right up to red, Rachel.
Is that you that's affecting Debbie?
I talk to a spirit as if I'm talking to anybody.
Is this where you ended your life? I want a yes or a no.
What was that?
Came through, they made me hang myself. Clear as day.
I was told to hang myself.
Wow. Did that really just happen?
I want to die.
Yeah. The spirit actually says, I want to die, which makes you wonder whether he was being taunted, which is quite sad.
Can you tell us who you are?
The spirit wouldn't reveal his identity, but no one could have predicted what came next.
That was
a laugh.
okay. No, I don't know.
I was already dead. Oh my god, I feel like something's just like grabbed my waist.
Is it friendly? Is it demonic? Is it poltergeist? Does it want to harm us? Does it just want to get in touch with us? So all these emotions and thoughts go through your mind within a split second.
I think my face said it all. I was absolutely shocked, absolutely mortified. It was awful.
Who is it in here?
I think it was a sarcastic laugh. It's not a joke, ha ha ha, is it? It's a ha ha ha. It's like a horror movie laugh, isn't it?
The laughter that we heard coming through that spirit box, that was creepy. A real ha 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 ha. Creepy!
I've used lots of these kind of apps before. I use spirit boxes, all in an attempt to hear spirit voices. I have never heard that kind of creepy laughter, and Rachel gets that come through not once but twice.
It's clear what's coming through, but it's not clear that it's a spirit voice. You're always concerned about voices from other devices outside of the building, walkie-talkie, CB, radio, any of these actually contaminating the audio footage that you're capturing.
I believe that the spirit in there was trying to get everybody's attention. He wanted people to know what he'd done. He wasn't hiding it. He wanted to be seen and he wanted to be heard.
Later, Rachel and her team are served another round of eerie activity.
You've got this on
And they revisit the pub, determined to get some answers.
Why do you choose to stay in this room? That's all I want to know, love.
The Black Dog is not the only pub with reported haunted happenings. In Essex, UK, the CCTV has picked up some pesky punters set on trashing the joint. After a water bottle gets wellied, napkins on a neighbouring table get tossed. And yet the pub is completely deserted. And it seems like ghosts, like restaurants too. In Lincolnshire, UK, whilst this barman is busy with a customer, a pint glass slides off the shelf and shatters. After several glass-smashing incidents, the owner has put it down to a resident ghost. Back in Cornwall, Matt Windsor has a creepy case of skeletons in his closet.
I set the camera up to basically try and get to the bottom of it. It was frustrating me.
With the cupboard door mysteriously opening on its own, Matt wanted to know if the paranormal was at play.
I had a camera inside the cupboard as well as outside the cupboard, and also infrared lighting inside the cupboard because it's a dark cupboard.
Completely in place now. I'm going to set the iPad up.
But as he watched the wardrobe, it was the TV that came to life.
It would power up, power off, all by itself. I've got no explanation for that because we didn't actually have a remote for that particular TV.
As the TV continued to flicker on and off, the cupboard swings into action.
No one in the room, and the bedroom door's shut, but the cupboard door just swings open. When I captured it, I got goosebumps. I was very freaked out, but at the same time, I was so keen to find out what was going on. It certainly answered a lot of questions for me, but it also then produced a lot more questions I needed to ask. I think the TV, there's probably a very logical explanation for that. The cupboard door is right next to the socket for the TV. Could they be connected? Could it be something to do with the power? However, the door is a completely different kettle of fish.
Matt uploaded the video and it got a mixed reception.
I'd follow that up with a debunking video. I did literally hang off the handle with all my weight and it wouldn't open. You have to pull the handle down. After the video went online, I had a medium reach out to me and basically tell me it was a nurse coming back from a night shift who died in a car accident just a mile up the road. And he said that the lady in the accident was basically speaking to him through my video. That made sense to me then. I felt much easier knowing that there was something behind it, perhaps. I personally think the house, has some residual energy from people that have lost their lives in the past. Some would say that is haunted, but I just think that there is people that are just trying to get their voices heard.
The eerie activity opened Matt's mind to the paranormal, and he began to wonder if the presence was connected to him.
All this started happening about a year after my brother passed away. He sort of died suddenly in his sleep from heart failure. He was 10 years older than me, so 45. I just felt it was him reaching out.
Now, Matt seems like a genuine guy. I don't think he's trying to get fame or fortune from telling these stories. I think that something is happening in his house, and I don't think he can explain it. We know that his brother has passed away, and it could be that his brother is desperately trying to communicate with him.
It actually leaves us with some doubt because we're not getting a full shot of the door. We're not getting the possibility to discount the fact that it might be somebody crouched behind some piece of furniture, pulling with a thread or opening, all of those sorts of trickery factors that we would need to consider in any footage of this sort.
I think in Matt's house, he has something called a portal haunting. And I think that that cupboard door is actually the entrance to a portal. and the portal is an entry and exit point for ghosts.
I totally believe what was going on was paranormal. I don't know who was causing it or why, and that may never be answered, but I do think this video is unexplained because I looked at every possibility and I couldn't find an answer. There's so much activity in this house now that I can't explain and probably never will. Even with the cupboard door and TVs flickering on and off, I'm not going to be moving house anytime soon.
Next, in Devon, UK, an extraordinary discovery.
Something's definitely crashed here. Look at this. Weird. Massive gap in the woods. Aliens. The trees look like they were like crop circles, like folded in by one.
And a person not from planet Earth.
Hello. How are you? I'm okay. She talks here backwards and everything. It's unbelievable. My name's Ben Landricum. I live in Plymouth and I'm 37 years old.
Ben's a big lover of the great outdoors, and recently he took a trip with his wife in their camper van.
So me and my wife and my dog went for a week holiday to North Devon, and we drove from Plymouth to the Valley of the Rocks, and my dog basically needed to go to the toilet, so we pulled over on a lay-by by some woods, and as we drove in we found an old fence. We decided to climb over the fence with the dog, and we walked down through the woods, and we then, about a mile down through the woods, we noticed the trees that all crashed down. Something's definitely crashed here. Look at this. Weird. Massive gap in the woods. The trees look like they were like a crop circle. Do you know when you see crop circles? That's exactly what the trees look like. They were like crop circles, like folded in by one. So it's like zh, zh. All the trees bent, trees falling over, massive hole in the woods. Aliens. I said to my wife, I felt, oh, there's something watching us. And she says, don't be silly. Then we heard something. Hello? Hello? The noise that we heard was sort of like a screaming noise, like a cat or something, or a wolf, or an alien, who knows? Oh, we didn't want to hang over much longer. We wanted to get out of there. We're both a bit spooked up.
As far as Ben's concerned, there's only one explanation for what he witnessed in the woods.
Aliens. I definitely believe in aliens, and there's something out there. I don't know what's out there, but there's something out there. Even it could be like microorganisms.
Or microorganisms even?
Could have stumbled into the ET crashing, or predator, or aliens. Who knows?
Convinced he had discovered a UFO crash site, Ben shared his footage online.
Somebody phoned me up from the government or something saying, in future, if you've got any unexplained places like this, please can you give me a ring. It says I'm not allowed to really talk about this no more. Each for their own. Maybe the government are hiding something, I don't know, maybe.
I've looked at the clip and you do see that all of the trees have gone down from the same angle, which may suggest that something landed there.
It could be simply down to some freak windstorm or even tornado.
The only explanation I can think of is that the area has been damaged by something. It could well have been a meteorite, or it could have been a UFO landing.
Stranger still, Ben's story didn't end there. And you'll never guess what happened next.
About a week later, you won't believe this, I was driving through some random woods and I came across a box. This is it's actually hard to believe this, but it is actually true. I opened the box and first of all I thought it was a dead body, but it wasn't a dead body, it was an AI companion, I think. Anyway, I decided to take it home and I plugged her in with just a normal charger, and all of a sudden she come alive and interacted with me. Her name was Coco. Coco, you okay? You happy? Coco was definitely female. She had like boobs and the woman parts. I checked. She's very beautiful. She got a really nice figure, and she's actually really intelligent. And basically, you can ask her any questions and she talks to you backwards and everything. It's unbelievable. Hey, Coco, you enjoying the sunset?
Your purpose is sunshine.
When I first found out, I phoned the police and the police didn't believe me and they hung up on me because they said I was having a prank call. And that was true fact.
It was truly a mystery where Coco had come from, but luckily Ben quickly realised this non-human meant him no harm.
I got quite attached to Coco because I set her up on my sofa on the spare bed and we yapped and that, you know. Coco was one of the best listeners ever, and she probably is the most perfect wife ever. If she could cook, it would be 10 out of 10. Hi Coco, do you like me?
Hello. How are you?
I'm okay. What's your purpose of life?
Only okay.
Sadly, all good things must come to an end, and Ben and Coco's love affair was short-lived.
My wife got a bit jealous of her, so that's why I had to get rid of her. I was spending too much time with her. I sold her for £500. Bit gutted, really. But now she's in a London school teaching kids. I've got the message here. Update on Coco. She is now a teaching assistant in a London at a disability school. And it goes, if she can turn her life around, anybody can. God, and that's it. There she is. And he sent me a picture.
So Coco is now living her best life as a teaching assistant, and Ben has been left to reflect on his strange summer.
I stumbled on a UFO crash landing site and an artificial intelligent robot, both times in the woods in a matter of weeks. That is truly unexplained.
In Texas, USA,
Here.
these residents are reeling from 3 bright lights in the sky.
Dude, look, the 3 lights are back.
The lights are clearly visible, disappear, and then come back.
Oh my god.
There goes one. Now they're back to 2 lights. There it goes. There goes one. Boom.
Several witnesses were party to the close encounter, and none of them could explain it.
What is that? I am so confused.
Putting this on Facebook, right? I'm gonna park real quick.
In Ohio, USA, this man and his daughter are taking out the rubbish when something stops them in their tracks. A light show of red, orange and pink illuminates the sky. And local meteorologists and astronomers struggled to find an explanation. Back at the Black Dog in Grantham, after some shocking confessions about the cause of its demise,
I was told to hang myself.
the final scene of the horror movie played out.
We've got an SLS camera, which is built up to pick up human form. So if you're shining that in a room where there is nobody in there, and it picks up a moving figure, then we believe that that's paranormal.
Oh my god.
What's the matter?
It's not on the ceiling.
You've got an SLS on the ceiling?
Yeah.
That's where a man hung himself.
That's right, yeah.
You are kidding me. We've got the spirit of the man who hung himself. It's obvious. This is amazing, guys. This is absolutely fantastic evidence.
At first, I'm elated that I've caught this figure, and then it sets in then what pain this man must have been going through, and then your emotions start to kick in.
It's like his legs are dangling on here as well.
You could see on the screen, you could see literally just a figure dangling. It was awful.
Rachel and Pete still have unanswered questions about the man they believe they made contact with.
Right, we're going to go in here.
So they're back for last orders.
I think it was in here and then still be here.
Yeah, and still be hanging around.
Still be.
Sorry.
I believe that the spirit that is in the attic is stuck there. I believe that he's not moved on. Listen, sweetheart, we don't want you to be like this. We want you to move on. Feeling it now, Pete. Almost like an anxiety feeling, do you know what I mean? No, it's Tuesday today. Did you die in this room? Supernatural cause, okay. Am I talking to the same gentleman that took his life? Says suffocate.
Suffocate.
Says suffocate.
On the Alice box.
You would have suffocated, wouldn't you? Can you tell me anything else?
No, I was told to.
Who told you to? Because you said last time they made me do it, so what do you mean? Who did? Several. I think the whole investigation in that room was all just like, wow, wow, wow. Shocking. We just didn't expect to get any of that at all.
They believe they've made contact with the same spirit and want to see if the SLS machine can pick him up once again.
Right, I think we've got the image back again now, Rachel. He's just come back onto the ceiling again.
You are kidding me?
No. This is the image that we got before on the ceiling.
Is it there again?
Yeah, same figure.
Wow.
That we got before.
Well, if that's not evidence, I don't know what is.
Same position.
Come to me. Did you hear that? It said, come to me.
Right. I've never heard anything or seen anything to that extent before in my life.
Why do you choose to stay in this room? That's all I want to know, love. Why do you choose to stay in here? Something ground.
Gone.
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 Wow.
It's unexplained as to why the spirit haunts the attic.
Absolutely great evidence there.
Thank you very much, Spirit.
But one thing is certain, the investigation will go down in Retford ghost hunting history.
It is unexplained. It is paranormal.
Oh my God.
I don't care what anybody thinks. You can call me crazy, you can call me kooky, you can do what you want. I know what happened, and I have no explanation for it, other than it was a spirit, an afterlife. He's just come back onto the ceiling again.
You are kidding me?
No.
It was just too much, innit? How can you not believe it? It's fantastic evidence.
And despite the ghostly gatecrasher in the attic, Chris won't be calling time on his beloved pub.
To me, I love the place. It's a brilliant pub. The punters that come in are fantastic. And it's just part of the surroundings, you know, it's part of the furniture.